him, and he's exploring his interest. My younger one, so he's never been to school, but it is really amazing to see how he's learning lot of things, and how he's making sense of things around him, and the way he's perceiving things. It's really beautiful. So there's no looking back in this journey. Uh, yeah. Yeah, that's about me.
Yeah, thanks, Shakila. Others in the group, Manjusha, Mohit, and Pankaja. Okay, Pankaja is still not on mic. Yeah, Mohit, you can just say hi to the group.
Hey, hello everyone. I think I'm one of the latest entries to this Aarohi OpenLearning group. So my daughter. So my family has 4 members. Uh, I'm in the immediate family. Me, my wife, uh, my daughter, and only 8 days back, my younger son was born. So just before uh, my son was born, we visited Aarohi campus uh, along with my wife and daughter. It was a great stay. And 2 weeks after we returned, we were blessed with a baby boy. Uh, uh, Mother and the baby are doing perfectly fine. We are having a great time right now. Yesterday, my parents also came. So, family time most of the time. But yeah, uh, regarding the open learning, I'm trying to make it more with a mindset that we all are open learners, not only my daughter. So even me, my wife, and even my 8-year-old son, and I think he's already learning. And there are a lot of good insights that I have been able to gain through uh, Aarohi and other platforms uh, that I have been exposed to uh, in the past few months. So, lot of observations without judgments, and that is helping me uh, build new perspectives and widen the existing ones. It's a great journey that I feel that I have embarked on, and with a lot of uncertainties in my way, but I'm hopeful that this will be uh, a very exciting one and enriching one. Yeah, thank you. That's about it.
Thanks, Mohit. So we have a youngest open learner here, 8 days old. Awesome.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Manjusha.
Hi everyone, I'm Manjusha. I have 2 kids. One elder one is 7 years, and younger one is 4. Elder one, he is presently going to a conventional school only. Younger one, I'm homeschooling her. Aarohi, I've heard about Aarohi almost 4 or 5 years back. One of my friend visited Aarohi and she told me about all that, and I've keeping following your page and all those activities. So I've never visited, but I would love to visit. The thing is, from the time I heard about Aarohi, and I was hearing about all this homeschooling, open schooling, open learning, and all. I've been so interested in this. I wanted to I mean, take my kids in that path. But again, in some way, maybe the society pressure or whatever, again, I had put him in the conventional schooling only. But it's like a constant what to say, constant pressure to me inside, because I wanted to change him. I don't want to go him to that I mean, go sit, read, come back, do the homework. I didn't want that. That is been in me all through these years since he was in joined in his KG class. Now he is into second grade. It is a constant thing. And now I thought, okay, let me take a call. Let me, I mean, change this, change him, because he'll be interested in many things. But this, the regular schooling, he is not. I mean, kids should get that interest to go learn something, or otherwise, I'm interested in this, I have to learn this, or I have to give more time in learning this. But that is not happening presently. That's not at all happening. So I thought, okay, let me take that step. Let me pull him out of that school. And so younger one, I'm not sending her to school. So presently she is being homeschooled only. So I would love to visit Aarohi maybe in coming few weeks, and then I don't know what I'll be going to do. But definitely I want to pull him out.
Sure, sure. Yes, yes, please come, please come. I'm also posting in the chat the details for that. In March and April, we have quite a number of weeks which are available for people to come and stay. Yeah, super. So, yeah, inviting Pankaja also. Pankaja, you want to say hello to the group?
Hello, sir. Actually, I'm outside, so there could be some disturbances.
No
This is the
issues.
first meeting I'm attending. So I just wanted to know what it is, and basically, I want to understand what is going on. I don't know exactly, but I heard a few things about open learning, but I want to deep dive into it. So I want to attend more meetings. Maybe I want to attend 1 week. Maybe I don't know what it is called, 1 week workshop or something. It would be helpful if I get any information regarding this 1 week stay or
Yeah, I've
uh,
just put it in the chat. So dates also
okay,
I've put and the link where you will get the details.
okay,
There's no
okay,
workshop. You come and stay with us and we all do open learning together. That's all. You become part of the community and the campus for a week. Which city are
okay.
you from, Pankaja?
I'm from Tumkur, sir.
Ah, you're close by. You're neighbors. We are near Hosur,
Okay,
so that's
in
hardly any distance.
Hosur.
Yeah,
Hosur.
campus is near Hosur. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Are there any activities will run in Tumkur?
No, no, no. We have only one campus. So you can come and stay with us for a week, from Monday to Friday, which is what I was offering to others
Okay,
also. And yeah, you can
okay,
experience. And I've just posted in the chat the link and the dates, the weeks that are available in the March,
okay,
April month. Yeah.
okay,
How old
okay.
are your children?
My child is going to be 6 by this April,
6. Okay.
sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Superb. So similar to, I think, Manjusha's 7-year-old, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, we can continue to have the discussions. So whoever, Priyanka, you were wanting to ask something, you can restart that discussion. Sorry, we went little
Yeah,
here, there.
thank you.
And
Thank you for the
yeah, if
Thank
more
you.
people can come on video, otherwise I feel like I'm alone in this room. Just for my moral support. Yeah,
So,
please shoot
so my
questions, thoughts, anything. This is a very informal discussion, so please go ahead. Yeah.
so my query is regarding the homeschooling concept. Like how much time the parent would be required to spend with the kid. I have this homeschooling query, but I'm not completely sure of what open schooling is. Like how the things to be taken care of for open school. Maybe you can
Okay.
enlighten on that.
Okay. So maybe I normally do a very small, quick presentation. I think let me anyway do that. They will take 5 minutes. So just to kind of set the thoughts, just give me 1 minute. Let me hook up the presentation. So let me do that quickly. Sorry. Give me 1 minute. Right. So, okay, we don't really call it open schooling, we call it open learning. The reason we don't really use any of the terms like unschooling, homeschooling, open schooling is two big reasons. One is it's got nothing to do with school, right? And two, it doesn't remain only for the schooling age. It continues literally till you die. So, which means we think we are open learners, like we didn't really introduce, but Dwiji, you also have to introduce. But we all call ourselves open learners first and our children later. So, which means at this age, how are we living and learning? We decide what we want to learn, how we want to learn. And I'm sure most of us here who are adults are learning that way only. We are deciding how we want to live our week, month, what our schedule would be, what our priorities are. So open learning is similar. Um, uh, it starts with this thought that, hey, what is the purpose of education? And to us, we thought that the purpose of education is to live life. Yeah, that is how, as I said, that is how it started with our daughter also. We started thinking same as how you were thinking, Priyanka, that, why all of these subjects and why all of this? This is very constrained, very little, while she wants to experience so many things, do so many things. So it looked like that the purpose of education is not to score on any subjects or anything or learn some subjects, but to live life on her terms. Sorry, you were saying something.
Yeah, absolutely. So the concepts which we had learned in our school, the history, geography, maths and science, the trigonometries, we are not at all using in our day-to-day life. Then
Yeah,
why to
yeah.
spend so many years learning and then unlearning and filling up the required knowledge that is required for job at least? So
Sure, sure.
lot
Yeah,
of
similar
wasting of
thoughts.
time.
Yeah. So we realize that the word education, learning, and living, these three are actually the same words. They're just three different words. They actually mean the same. When you live, you have to learn, and whatever you learn becomes your education. If you live in Kashmir, maybe you learn how to live in a snow area. When you live in Kanyakumari, you learn how to live next to a sea. So if whatever you live becomes your learning, and in that sense, and how does one live? By becoming a leader of oneself, by saying, "Oh, this is what I want to learn." So the first thought is we don't bind the child with a curriculum, at least in open learning. So I'm telling you what open learning is. I'm not telling you what homeschooling is. Homeschooling is simpler to define. You do the schooling at home. But in open learning, we don't bind the child with any curriculum. The child decides what she wants to do or he wants to do daily, weekly, monthly, whatever he or she wants to do. Obviously, with a lot of consultation with us, almost not just he deciding based on consultation with us, we are also deciding based on consultation with them. So it's all together, we are all deciding. And it could be literally anything. We say the whole world is full of learning opportunity. There are like million professions at least, or million fields or million domains, whatever you want to call it. Also, we realize that we don't need to teach the child. The child will figure out whether I want to be taught, whether I want to learn by doing, whether I want to learn from a book, from a video. However, whatever I want to do, where will I learn from? A lot of times we learn a lot of things from them. They learn some things from us, some from each other, some from books, some from somewhere, and a lot of times by doing it themselves. We also realize when we look at it learning that way, then everybody can be every place can be a learning space, and everybody can be a teacher or a collaborator or a co-learner. So that's the beauty of the open learning. So the world is our classroom. The thing we realize is that if we are deciding what we want to learn and the child is deciding how to learn, then why assessment? There's no need of assessment. There's constant feedback that life is giving, constant reflection the child does, and we all give feedback to each other. So that's how we kind of assess ourselves, which is typically how we assess ourselves as adults. So why should children be assessed in any marks or anything like that? It doesn't make sense. In any case, the guy who gets 60% isn't necessarily less than the guy who got 90%. It is just that in that subject, he is better. That's all. So we learn from literally anybody. And the fourth thing is, if we are going to do like this, then while school, colleges, and degrees is one way of having a professional life, the child can also decide to have it without school, college, and degrees. Yeah, as I was sharing that my both children have not done any 10th or 12th or college or degree or nothing. And my daughter is 25, son is 19. They're perfectly enjoying their life, doing things that they like doing. So that's the whole idea. So it becomes that the children at different ages, whether they are 4 or 10 or 14 or 24, they are taking responsibility of themselves. They realize I am the leader of myself. parents, friends, other community members are all there to support me, but finally I decide for myself. So that's what is open learning. So typically the progression goes from getting exposed. A lot of exposure is what a very young child would need, or not just need, will go about. Actually, young children are very good at getting themselves exposed. They will literally explore touch and feel everything. As children grow older, they start exploring things that they like. Typically that becomes their interests or hobbies or whatever words we want to give it. And as they grow further older, become teenagers, then they start getting into one or two fields and getting deeper into what we call as the expertise stage. And when the time is there for them, they start earning out of it, and then it becomes their enterprise. So that's a typical open learning progression. So that's a brief about what is open learning. Within open learning, if somebody wants to go back to school, somebody wants to do a particular course, somebody wants to do a certification, all of those are options available. So open learning doesn't mean that those options are closed. Open learning only means all options are open. So now I'll just share 2 minutes. What is Aarohi? Aarohi is a community of families who are together. So we are co-creating learning opportunities. We are doing work together. We are supporting each other. And in a way, we are living together, though we may not be physically together. We could be in different cities or places at different points of time, a lot of us. So we may be at our home, we may be at Aarohi campus, we may be meeting each other, different families, or we could be traveling together. And because the whole world is ours. We look at it that way, that the whole world is our classroom. Anybody in the world is our resource. Yeah. And that translates into what we call it CoVersity, which is for the older age group, which is 13 plus, 13 to 21, where let me just go to that slide, skip few slides. Yeah, so this is the CoVersity is the open learning for 13 to 21, where they focus on their professional journey by deep diving into specific domains and by doing actual industry work. And the work that they do becomes their certificate. They are work certified. And the industry likes it because they're done real work. They are immediately valuable to the organization if they are seeking employment or if they are seeking projects and doing as a freelancer or as an entrepreneur. So that's the the CoVersity journey. Yeah, let me pause here. So that's a little brief introduction. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that introduction. And I'm glad that she's also here sitting with me and understanding things. So let's see, we will surely plan a visit there to understand more about it. Yeah, and of course, when we are enrolling our kids to other sports activities, we are also open learning that there is no curriculum there, right? So she's already into the open learning thing, and we as adults, as required, when we are into career, we need to upgrade ourselves. So that is also open learning, that wherein we decide what we have to learn. So that is the
Absolutely.
same analogy you can apply to our kids as well and get the best out of it for their better life. So yeah, thanks for this enlightenment.
Sir, if I may ask.
You can call me Ratnesh. I'm not sir or anything. Ratnesh is good enough.
The thing is, you mentioned no. See, the kid will go according to what they want, or they will learn what they like. I mean, we'll also make the space in such a way that they'll have that freedom to choose what they want to learn. So, is it really practically possible, sir? Because when I started, 4 years back, 5 years back, when I started this hunt for these schools, you don't believe me, I literally didn't sleep for 6 days. I literally didn't sleep because I didn't want this conventional schools. I want some other type. I'm not getting that. On paper, some schools are very good. On paper, see, we'll do this. There'll not be pressure. On paper, it's very good. But so finally, I filtered down one Montessori school. Montessori, what they mentioned on paper, what it is they will go, they will sit, everybody will sit together, so they'll learn whatever they want. There'll be no pressure from us. So this is what all I've heard from them. But once my younger one, when he joined in his nursery, LKG when he joined, but it again was like a normal school only. They used to bring those materials and okay, Sanjit, you have to do this. Okay, this is done. Okay, then next you have to do this. Again, he didn't have any choice of learning what he want. He didn't have that freedom of picking up. Okay, I want to do this material. I want to learn this. So, is it really practically possible, sir? Because on paper things are different, and I mean outside it's again we don't know now.
So since we have a child on call, why don't we ask her if she's okay? Priyanka, ask her if she's comfortable chit-chatting with us. Okay, cool. So what's your good name, dear?
Reva.
Sorry?
Reva.
Reva. Okay, Reva. I'm Ratnesh Reva. So what Auntie is asking is, if we say to you what you want to learn or do, forget learning actually, what you want to do, what all would you like to do? Let's say, if we say what all you want to do in the month of February. So tell us few things that you would like to do.
Sport.
Sorry? Little
Sport.
louder. Sports. Okay, which sports?
Badminton and
Badminton.
basketball.
Badminton and basketball. Okay, cool. What else would you like to do? So one category is sports. Yeah.
And origami
Okay, you like origami?
and study.
Study what? Remember, you can
Science
study whatever you feel like studying. Yeah, what?
Science.
Science. Okay, in science what?
While doing experiments, I like the time doing experiments.
So you would like to do different experiments? Is that what you like doing?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, what else? So one is science experiments. We have, then you're saying sports, origami. What else would you like to do? Even things which you have never done before, if you feel like doing it, you say, I haven't done that, but I would like to do that. So you can share that also.
Robots or something.
Make some robots. Yeah, I can do with one. Okay, what else?
Creating anything out of waste.
Okay. So you like making things with your hands. Okay, super. So I hope your question in a way is getting answered. There she goes. Reva has already created her own, you call it curriculum, we call it plan, different terms, but the meaning is the same. So she has just put some of the things that she would like to be having in her plan. That's how they do it at any age, at every age. They decide what they want to do it, and then they will do it. Now, you have any question, Reva, from us that how will I do this, or when will I do this, or whatever? You have any question from us or from your mom?
She was asking if we can do it on weekend.
Yes, you can do it on weekend. You can do it whenever you want, whole day, whole night. Why not?
So can you explain the if Manju, sorry, I forgot her name. If her query is answered, yeah, Manjusha. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thanks. So, what kind of setup is there in the CoVersity? Like how kids are developing their skill set? Do
What
they have
kind of
the
setup?
online setup is there? They get access to the internet. What are the
Yeah,
kind of
that
labs?
not just CoVersity, Aarohi, any age. So CoVersity is for 13 plus, but the overall
Okay.
Aarohi is for all the ages. As Shakila was sharing her children's age, Pranav was sharing her daughter age is also 11. Shakila's is, I think, also 11 and 6 or 7. So I think Dviji's daughter is now 13, right? Ibni is 13, Dviji? 13, 14. So all ages are there. And you actually don't need any setup. First, don't think about Aarohi right now. First thing is the home is your first space to explore. And whatever she said till now, okay, Reva's shared, she can explore at home or with resources nearby. Meaning, obviously, for basketball, she'll need to go somewhere where others are playing basketball. For badminton, also, for certain things, she may need to go out for the experiments, so on and so forth. But so don't start thinking about Aarohi. First, start thinking about would it make sense for her to design her day, week, month, year, how she wants, and live that? That is open learning. Just like you are designing your day, week, she will be designing, and both of you maybe will be discussing together every day in the morning, and then again discussing in the evening. How did the day go? How did it happen? Then again, next day morning, okay, what else we want to do today? How is today different? And something will happen, some event will come, some person will come. Let's go there, let's go there. See, then everything is possible because it's like a dynamic thing. It's not constrained by that only this can be done. Yeah, Manjusha, I'm not sure, Manjusha, that we answered your question, but we're trying to just give you an idea of how children are. If you ask them, what do you want to do? They always have some ideas. The ideas may change tomorrow. The ideas may not change at all for many days. That depends on each individual, right? And at different ages, it is different. For the same individual, also at different ages, it is different. So, and for example, between my two children, it is very different. My son only does one thing and he does all day one thing. My daughter wants to do 5 things at the same time. Right? So they're two different individuals. So like that, it varies from individual to individual.
Correct. And one more thing, as Pankaja told now, for the skill set and all, I mean, will they be on campus? I mean, once they come to Aarohi, see, they want to learn something there. So, I mean, that would be possible on that particular day. See, suppose, I mean, for example, as now the kid has told she wanted to do something, she wanted to play badminton today. So that would be possible, I mean, that way.
Okay, so first of all, let's not think about Aarohi as a campus. Aarohi is not a campus. Okay, Aarohi is a community with people in different cities. Duji is sitting somewhere in UP. Pranav is sitting somewhere in Mumbai. Shakila is somewhere in Tamil Nadu, not in campus. So none of these families are in campus, but they are all doing open learning. And we are all together in this journey, right? So so the whole world is our space. In the world, there are badminton courts. In the world, there are basketball playing people. In the world, there are all kinds of things, right? From nuclear reactors to whatever, lakes and ponds to you name it, meaning everything is up. So in a way, let's not look at it what is available where. Let us look at what is it that I want and where I can do it. When some children, just to give you an example, some children wanted to do skiing. Now, obviously, snow is not going to be there in our campus. It is in Tamil Nadu, right? We can't have snow here. So they went for a whole long 2-3 week long session of skiing to Gulmarg in Kashmir. And not just they went once, they liked it so much. Every year for 3 weeks, they will go in January, February when it's the snow time. Yeah. For 3-4 years, they went till actually the COVID stopped the whole thing. So what I'm trying to give you an example that we are not constrained by place, right? We are only thinking about, hey, what is it that I want to do and how can I do it? That's the whole idea.
Okay.
Duji, you want to add something? Very quiet today.
Yeah, very quiet because I'm doing something else too. But just wanted to say that invariably, I mean, not that anybody has asked this, but invariably we feel open learning is for children. And I just want to bring the conversation back to something that Ratnesh brought up earlier, that learning is a lifelong process. So if it is a lifelong process, we are all alive. So what is our learning journey? And how Why do I talk about this? The reason I talk about this is only when we learn new things and share the joy of learning can somebody, I mean, joy is infectious. I mean, I think all emotions are infectious. So whether it is joy, sadness, seriousness, any of those things, it's very infectious. So if we want our children to enjoy their life, then we should be enjoying our life too. And so our own learning journey is or traveling through our own learning journey and participating or having others participate in that is the first step, I feel, to have the child share their learning journey with us. Am I really sharing my piece of cake before I ask for your piece of cake? Right? I mean, we have come across this situation quite often, right? And we say, okay, if you share yours, I'll share mine. So it's a fair ask that the child will feel, what are you learning? What are you sharing with me? How am I part of your learning journey? So I just feel that when we are looking at learning and learning as a lifelong process, it's much more fun, it's much more inclusive, it's much more engaging when we are actively learning something and sharing that joy with everyone around us, and not just children. I mean, I think adults need a lot more learning and reorientation today than children do, especially adults around you, because you have already decided to get to know more about open learning and all that. So I'm very happy to hear that. So I just feel that when we are looking at learning and open learning, let's not limit it to children. Let's look at it as learning for everybody. Do you want to bring in the subject of the day, Ratnesh?
Yeah, we can bring that. Whatever's in your mind, let it roll. Yeah. I think Priyanka has also put in a different angle to it. So yeah. Yeah. So two resources she's talking about: money and time. Yeah, very interesting. And also, Priyanka, just to connect with you, typically that is that's a very common concern or thought or an area where the mind goes, okay, this will require certain amount of money and also this will require certain amount of time. Do we have it? We are both working, or we have only this much resources. So I wish Pranav was also here. We could have tickled him. Is Shakila around? We can ask them, what do they think?
Yeah, I am here.
Pranav is here. Okay, sorry. Namrata is also there. Okay, our finance lady is here. And Shakila is, okay, Shakila. Yeah, Shakila is also there. So please share your views. There are 2 points that Priyanka is raising. One is about the finance part and the other is about the time part.
So, talking about time first, I think like if you're talking from child's perspective, that how much time will I have to devote to the child in uh, doing this journey. So initially, it's, as Vijay was mentioning, it's more of a family thing. You do everything together as a family, and it's not necessary that you have to do something every day together as an activity. You don't have to swim every day. Let's all swim together. Let's all play basketball together. Let's all do everybody do this kind of nature thing together. Not like that. You all do your independent stuff in whatever time it is, in the way sorted and in the way planned, and the child will make his or her own plan, and this goes on. So initially 6 months, 1 year, probably you might feel that there is more bandwidth needed in terms of working this out. But gradually, when the child is also in the self mode, that the child understands, how do I learn it, what not what to learn, or it's about learning how to learn. And then that thing is through with the child, in the child's mind, child will come up with their own ideas of learning, and they will find various resources, various means, various things to look at, and find ways to learn, because then they were driven by their own interest. So there you can take a backseat very easily. So then your time as much is not required. Of course, as a family, you discuss things, you kind of have a feedback, have reflection, have planning together, you share your part. So those things continue to happen, but there is no per se sort of sitting with the child the whole days kind of thing. That is one in terms of time. I hope I could answer that. And from monetary aspect, again, I would say uh, money is required. It's not like as much. I would not say more or less than the school or something like that. But I would say the money used is more efficient. So you know this is what my child wants to pursue, or this is what the child is currently showing interest or something in that, and then the money is gone into that particular focus area, rather than just generically you're kind of giving a particular fees or some wholesome amount towards tuitions or whatever it be. That's the whole thing. Here, say my daughter is interested in something, some activity, so my money goes into that. And not only that, there is a lot of discussion which happens around money as a family. So child also understands, okay, how much are we earning as a family, how much are we supposed to spend. So the child also automatically becomes involved as a part of family, becomes more responsible about the choices. And that's how. So it makes two things. One, it makes the usage of money more efficient, and second, the child becomes more responsible towards money. So that is what I have observed in my family. That is what I'm sharing.
Thank you so much. It gave another perspective, another basket in the pot, that yes, I am open for open learning with my kid.
Vijay, you want to add? I think Namrata is also. Namrata, before Vijay, do you want to add? We haven't heard you today.
To
To hear
unmute,
you.
actually. I was about to mute. So I completely agree with Pranav. The money which we are spending is giving so much satisfaction now. Initially, the money which was going for a corpus. Okay? Now it is going for the specific purpose for which my child is actually interested into. And as Pranav rightly said, it gives a lot of responsibility to the child in order to how he is going to utilize that particular facility which he is availing using that money. And secondly, with regard to time, I would like to say the thing which I have learned from Aarohi is responsibility. So why not to give responsibility to the child of learning? No doubt it is responsibility of the entire family. But when it comes to the time, can I hold my child responsible for his own learning, so that if you'll think about, I mean, it's not about differentiating, but if you'll think about the times when child was going to school, it was like as if it is my responsibility for the child to complete the homework. It is my responsibility for the child to finish the portion or complete the test. But now here, I'm shifting the responsibility of learning to the child. Okay, what you want to learn, tell me. How do you want to plan? How do you reflect on your planning? How you want to do it? And this brings a lot of change in a personality of the child. I mean, live learning apart from it, it is kind of a soft skill which a child is developing within himself.
Right.
That's it.
Vijay, you want to add? I think Vijay is a little busy with something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry,
If you're constrained to time, that's
no,
okay.
no. That's a
Okay.
that's a
Yeah, I
very
know
good question.
it's a topic closer to your heart than most of us.
Yeah, Priyanka, I mean, how much would make you feel financially stable? I mean, how much would it be the same that makes me feel stable? Or Ratnesh feel that they're financially stable? Or any one of us, right? So each of us decides what is my financial stability. Correct?
Yeah.
Now, if you're single, you will decide this by yourself. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'll consult your parents, maybe you will talk to a financial advisor, right? But the decision will be yours.
Right.
Now, when you're married and you have a spouse, then you would discuss with your spouse and decide. right? Now, if I have a child, what happens? I mean, if I feel that I should decide everything for my child, or my spouse and I should decide everything for my child, then we will decide for them, we will send them to this, we'll make them do that, we'll make them do this and all that, correct? Now, when we are saying that we are going to treat this individual as a person, and sorry, I'm kind of bringing in some things that we haven't really introduced you to, but I'm guessing you might have seen something on the website, or otherwise I would just refer you to go to the website and read a few articles and watch some videos. Essentially, when we are saying we are all learners and we all make mistakes and we learn, we are essentially saying that we are not that much different from the child, right? Which also means that what the child thinks is also important, that we might learn something from the child as well. I mean, very recently there was a conversation on the group where there was a discussion. I mean, there have been a lot of flurry of messages recently, but a while ago when I last checked, there was this discussion about how we have to teach children how to do things in this world. And I have the opposite thing. My daughter keeps teaching me things and I keep making mistakes. And she's like, don't you know you have to check these things before you do these things? Right? So what I'm trying to say is that if we open up our minds and start involving people in discussions, people are no longer unreasonable. Of course, there are limits to this. There are constraints to this. It's never a utopian world. We always have to make compromises. Always. Whether it is internally with ourselves or with others around us. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't have infinite source of money. I mean, I can't send my child to Gulmarg every year, frankly. Right? But does that mean that there is no other way of doing this? Or that if she decides to want to go to Gulmarg every year, please go. If you find resources, go. Make your own resources. Find your own resources. Right? I mean, she's 14 years old. I don't mind if she travels on her own, and she does travel on her own, out of station as well. So what I'm trying to get to here is that if a child wants to do something and the child knows that my family, we have this much money. So let's say that my daughter wants to go to Gulmarg, it's going to cost her 1 lakh rupees. Is that a fair estimate, Ratnesh? Maybe not. It's probably more like 50,000. But let's leave it at that. Let's say 50,000 rupees. And my entire year traveling budget is probably about 50,000 for the 4 of us. It's 3 of us. So she knows that there isn't that much money. So what will she do? Either she has to scale down her expectations and do something else, or she has to find the money somewhere. She has to go ask her grandparents, maybe try to sell some things, maybe try to do some coaching classes. I remember a similar thing happened to me when I was about 15 years old. And my parents said, no, you can't get that cycle. And I went and asked my cousin, hey, you have a printing press. Is there something that I can do for you? And we had just returned from Delhi. And I was comfortable in Hindi. And he had an order in which they had said they will get English to Hindi translations done somewhere. And luckily, that same day, that customer was there. And my cousin immediately said, see, this kid here can do English to Hindi translations. I was like, I don't know. He was like, chup, just go with me. And then I did the translations and I bought my cycle. So what I'm trying to say here is that I studied in a conventional school. I mean, I don't want to give any impression that I didn't study in a conventional school, but there were a lot of things that I did, which I feel, I mean, what is that saying? I didn't let my schooling spoil my education, right? So you guys are much better in that you're already considering what are the alternatives to schooling. So what I'm trying to say here is that when we think of finances and other constraints, and others too, I mean, not just finances, in terms of time, I mean, I'm in Sitapur in UP and my daughter is in Bangalore, right? So, I mean, that's a constraint. But we have figured out some ways in which she can do what she wants to do and I can do what I want to do. And together we are doing some things every now and then, right? So overall, I mean, life is never without compromises. And if a child learns how to make compromises and live with those things and enjoy life in spite of compromising, I mean, what more can we ask in terms of learning, right? So yeah, I think I spoke too much.
But it was a good sharing. Thank you.
Yeah, so to kind of conclude this as an overall discussion is that, see, even in life and in general in open learning, there is no perfect state of affairs, right? Even any which way, whether you work, whether you don't work, whether you go to school, not go to school, there is no perfect state of affairs. So it's all very dynamic. Time, money, availability, so on. All of those things are dynamic, keep changing. Our needs, wants keep changing. And we have to figure out how do we navigate the life. So there is no, whether you are a billionaire, you're still navigating life. Whether you're a pauper, you're still navigating the life. There is no escaping from that, right? So the only thing is, we don't keep all of these aside in open learning. They are part of learning, as Vijay mentioned and as Pranav mentioned. They are the core curriculum, the life's challenges, the life's happenings, events, the life's constraints are all part of learning. They are not side of learning. We say there is nothing like soft skills, hard skills, these skills, curricular, extracurricular, hobbies, all of these are just terms. Everything is life. Whether you need to take care of your emotions or you need to fix your bulb or you need to cook a meal or whatever, or you need to manage your money or your relationship, everything is life. And hence, you call it curriculum, you don't call it curriculum, but that's life. If you feel like dancing, that's life. Isn't it? It isn't dancing, it's life. You don't go to A.R. Rahman and say, hello, Mr. Extracurricular. It just doesn't make sense. Even when I am dancing, I'm dancing. That's not extracurricular or a hobby. That's what I'm wanting to do right now. In these 5 minutes, that is my life when I'm dancing. Dance is my life. Right now, you are in this call. Right now, this is your life for this 5 minutes. And you can't live this 5 minutes again. This is how you've invested these 5 minutes. You can do it in any other ways. So that is why I keep saying open learning is actually open living. Just that if we call it open living, people find it very philosophical, so they will never come to it. So we call it open learning. But finally, it's all about being together, figuring out what each one likes to do, wants to do, and so on. When my daughter was 10, 11, 12, she was into art and dance, and we thought, iska career set hai. She will get into art and dance and all that. So we were like, in our minds thinking about it. But she surprised us. By 14, 15, she said, ho gaya abhi art and craft. Abhi I want to move ahead, do other things in life. And for 2 years, she constructed a building. Then we thought, oh, she will go into building. But after 2 years, he said, "Oh, yeah, building, shielding. Abhi, now I want to do something else." And so on and on and on. And now she does so many things at the same time. Similar story with our son. He said he wants to become a footballer. So for 4.5 years, only football, 7 days a week, nothing else. Obviously, he has not gone to school, so no science, history, maths, geography, whatever you name it. Only football, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, right? For 4 years. So we thought done with, he's gonna go into football and work professional. After 4.5 years, one Sunday he says, I'm leaving football and I'm starting digital marketing. Imagine 4.5 years of super serious football. After that, totally left football, now into digital marketing. What I'm trying to say is that that's life. The changes will happen just like we keep changing. Dwiji must have gone through some 10 different professions or whatever. Not professions, meaning interest he has lived through his life. I have lived so many different things. I'm sure there are many stories here where people have changed their professions and things that they like doing and so on. So the idea is to live life full on, whether you're 40 years old or you're 4 years old, that doesn't matter. And as we go along, we learn what is required to be learned. Just like we didn't know parenting, and when we became parent, we had to learn parenting. There was no option, no optional subject here, like that.
One last question, sir. I may sound silly. I mean, when you say no need to attend these, 10th exams, 12th or whatever, the board exams or whatever. So in India, is it really possible to live in some profession? I mean, to have
Absolutely.
to go into without all those certificates, those papers and all?
Yes. In India, it is very much possible, especially in the last 10 years. So it's very, very, very much possible. It was always possible, but in the last 10, 15 years, the world has opened up. It's no more India. Who knows India? It's a global world now. You could be you could be living in Tumkur and working for an Australian company whose everything is in Australia, right? So the boundaries have vanished totally. We are not talking about India at all. Our children are global citizens. They are no more, the industrial civilization is over now. It's global civilization. So absolutely, the world is open, the world is available. You learn from one, you work for somebody else, you keep, it keeps growing and growing. So there is no boundaries anymore. And the dynamics is very, very different. What this new generation is living through, meaning we are also living through, is the dynamics is very, very different. It's no more the same dynamics as when we were earlier there. You see the amount of openness with which nowadays companies work, right? There is so much of they are getting flatter. People are respecting much younger people, taking much senior decisions, inviting. So the whole scenario is very, very different. And people have realized that there's no point in just doing lots of work. Let's enjoy life. Let's do things. Let's focus on on relationships and so on. Meaning, I'm sure these are the things you all value. That's why you are here. If you were only valuing knowledge, then you wouldn't be. So that's the whole idea. So absolutely. And the best part is, even if, let's say, they face a problem, that problem is only to make yourself more stronger and then to find your own ways. So I'm not trying to say that these youth who are trying to do without their degree or whatever will have it easy. Not at all. They will not have it easy. They will not have it difficult. That is their life. Life isn't easy, difficult. Life is just living it, all, as I said, navigating it. So yes, but it's definitely possible. At least we have so many children here who are like that. CoVersity is for 13 plus, and they all don't go to any school, college. They are very much here. They are getting internships, they are getting paid, they are getting work at the age of 14, 15, 16, 18. They are already earning because they're actually doing actual industrial work. They are not just doing some, home projects. They are actually doing actual client work. If you have some work there, we have people in different fields. They will do work for you also. So that's the beauty, right? They are already doing it. So they understand the world much better.
I mean, I'm not saying it should be easy for them. Of course, they have to navigate, as you mentioned, they have to navigate to whatever it's coming on.
Yeah.
But that's only my doubt. I mean, do the cards really play a role? Those certificates and all.
No, see, I'm not saying that don't play a role. I'm saying if you want their role, you will have to get them. If you want to live without their role, you can. It's like saying, do I need to learn how to drive? I'll say, no, you can go in bus also, or you can get a call for a taxi also, or you can learn how to drive or learn whatever or do whatever certification. So I'm not trying to be saying that certificates don't play a role. Just that you have to decide whether that is what you want to use. So but it requires an investment. See, if you count 2 years of 10, 2 years of 12, 3 years of graduation, 3 or 4 years of graduation, and another 2 years for post-graduation. So it requires that much, at least that much time to be invested to get a decent certificate, right? Nowadays, even graduation has very little value in that sense. So what are we talking about? We are almost talking about 8 to 9 years. Now imagine for 8 to 9 years, if I work in a field, or even if I change fields every 3 years, even working in one field every 3 years will make me so much more equipped to do anything in life. So it is not that certificates is anything wrong or right about it. Whoever wants to go that route, those options are available even to open learners. Even at 16, 18, 20, 25, a child decides, oh, I want, suppose my daughter is 25. If she today wakes up and says, I want to do IAS, she can still do it. She can still give a 10th and a 12th in a 1 year's time. Through NIOS and whatever appear for whatever examination she needs to appear. So it is not that she cannot do it. Options are still available, right? It is just that, yeah, she will not be doing the way everybody else is doing, which is like in a fixed progression.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep. Any more questions or thoughts? Not just necessary questions. We also had brought up a theme. I don't know if anybody got interested in the theme today. But I guess that's more for people who would. But I want to hear from there. A few more people we haven't heard from. Piali, you want to share something? And there's Sindhu. You want to share something? Namrata, you want to chat about something? Mohit, anything?
Yeah, so I hope I am audible back again.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Mohit.
Yeah. So not about today's theme, but I would like to, extend the theme that we had last week. Actually, that got me thinking. Just for everyone's context, the last Saturday's meetup theme was financial independence. I think some of us might remember. Uh, it got me into thinking, like, during the last meetup itself, I was uh, taking it, extending it, or extrapolating it towards why financial independence for the kid alone? Why not? What is financial independence for me? Okay, so I tried to dribble with the concept a little more, and I just I was thinking, like, is financial dependence also a bad thing, right? I mean, even if I am dependent, what if kid is dependent on some time on me or on our cousin? Why not think like a community? On a community for many things, when we are living, then we are dependent on each other emotionally, physically, and there is the joy. So why so much stress about financial independence? Let it be dependent. No, what's wrong? Let's enjoy that dependence itself. And the other of the that was on the independence part, but also the financial independence. Why theme mostly or many people ask about financial independence? Why not emotional dependence or independence? Why not physical or health wise dependence or independence? Because many times those are more important in real time, be it job or otherwise. Like now, I feel that the lines between job and non-work life is also blurred. We are working all the time and we are not working all the time. We are the same person, whether I am in office or I am at home. Right? It's not much of a difference. So I think there is too much of stress that we build up for ourselves when we think about financial independence or any other goals of success that people generally have. If we, if I can myself embrace the uncertainties that life has to offer, like earlier there were questions like how much time we have to give and what kind of curriculum will be there. okay, if I start enjoying those uncertainties, I think life is very good. That is how I'm trying to approach for my own kid right now. Okay,
Sure,
let's
sure.
just live one at a moment. Okay, and I'm enjoying, I'm observing my kid, enjoying the different uh, uh, phases of her growth or phases of her day, and seeing, giving her some discomfort sometimes, seeing how she is reacting with a lot of awareness. Earlier, I was doing like I might still be doing some of the things that I used to do earlier, but a little more awareness, just to observe what and how she is, responding. So I think that learning, I'm very much now sure that learning is happening uh, by default, and unless until we try to standardize it, it will happen in the best possible way that life expects. Yeah, just my thoughts. Okay, I'm not sure if I was clear on multiple aspects, but I think that is okay. I'm enjoying that, my own thoughts, new perspectives and all.
Sure, sure, sure. I'm totally with you. But I can wait for others to respond what they think based on what Mohit was sharing. Yeah. In fact, interestingly, when I ask people, so I can ask here in this group, we have about, other than me, 8 of you. If I ask, what is your goal in life at this point of time? What would be your answer? Uh, you don't come on your video. No, I'm just joking. What is your goal of life? Right? It's so funny. Incidentally, just in the 3 o'clock webinar I was doing with some counselors, and we had 2 teenagers. One of the person asked these 2 teenagers of ROE that what is your goal in life for next 5-10 years, and like I think we didn't do that, but I would have liked to ask all of them, what is your goal of life? So that's a very interesting thing. So whether it's finance, goal, success, these are important things, but not necessarily they are one thing. Right? They're finally all part of just the same thing that we all are doing, which is living. And they're just components of everything. So yeah, but I would love to hear if anybody wants to share or ask. Yeah, with respect to what Mohit was saying. I know, unfortunately, the system, society, I don't know who to blame, or maybe nobody to blame, ourselves to blame. We have only created these terms, and then we think that these are more important than anything else. Yeah. If I ask 100 parents what do they want for their child, I would say 98 will say happiness. Yeah. Now, the funny part is how we then start constructing this happiness. We think that it has to come from something. Like, as you said, financial independence or stability. Some people will say this, some people will say that. But that's something very, very interesting. We need to ask children, and they'll say, why does it need to come from anywhere? We are already happy doing what we are doing. So that's yeah. In fact, perhaps they're only not happy when we kind of start dictating our terms onto them. So what you are saying, Mohit, what it did for us, something similar, meaning in the same way of thinking, is it just took all the steam out of the, let's call it the pressure cooker. So now the whole thing becomes very relaxed. Okay, whether it's finance, we always say that all the money in the family is everybody's. There is nobody, one person earning more or less. It is the family is earning, like the country's gross, national GDP or whatever. GNP and all. So then it also makes everybody responsible for everything, money or togetherness, or even little things. So it becomes very peaceful because it all works without expectation, because everybody knows that it's all our together game. So yes, it's a very peaceful, in that sense, a very, very relaxed life that one can. And in that relaxed life, I can start putting in efforts in whichever area I want to put in effort on a particular day. And then I have no qualms in saying after this day putting in effort in, let's say, the financial area, in the sense, let's say, working on finance. Next day I can say I'm going to focus on shopping because I want to enjoy spending also. So absolutely. Yeah, well, I also like that you brought this, because a lot of people think that, oh, these are philosophical discussions and these are esoteric discussions. But I think that's the core of open living. If we haven't embraced, you know, uh, these areas as part of the main curriculum of life, then it is only so-called education. But if these are part of our life, then they become as important as everything else. Yeah, like you mentioned, emotions, meaning they are as important as whatever else, physics. But nobody teaches us, at least I wasn't taught anything about emotion. Not taught, I wasn't even exploring emotions in my childhood. They were just given that you can't be angry. Now I say I love to be angry. Right. So just rounding off the discussion, saying, yeah, we can tend to be very philosophical, but that's philosophy is not like outside of our life. That's as much a part of our living and learning. So please feel free to come to campus. We won't do too many philosophical discussions, but we'll do a lot of other things here. We'll play lots of games and we'll sing lots of songs. And each one will do things that they would like to do, and we'll fight and we will do all kinds of things to each other, not like only the goody things, because everything is spice of life, right? And yeah, we live life. We will not, it's not a goody place. It's not a nice place. It's not something which will only do super things. No, we'll do all kinds of things. And if by chance we are not doing all kinds of things, please remind us to do all kinds of things. So you just, yeah, rounding up the discussion by again inviting everybody, if you feel like experience, just for an experience, you don't have to do open learning or get connected to Aarohi or nothing. Just come, stay with us for a week, just to experience. Mohit, you experience, you want to not share what you experience, but little do marketing for us. Say, yes, come, you also should experience.
Yeah, so I think when I was introducing myself and my family, I did mention that I had visited Aarohi campus. I think I went there on 22nd of Jan and stayed there till 26th of Jan. And on 26th, many other families had visited the campus for a 1 day or a half a day visit. Uh, so, uh, so it was a planned thing for me. I had been listening to uh, multiple videos related to homeschooling and open schooling on the Aarohi YouTube channel and other blogs. Okay, but it was what this campus 5 days gave me was taking a dedicated time to think a little deeper, revalidate what I was, revalidate the new perspectives that I was building in the last few months by talking to the kids who were doing open learning. It was amazing to see how uh, the entire community lives together, and every single person, irrespective of their age, is part of the community and responsible towards it. And great to see how small kids are behaving like leaders. They are able to get work done by elders, and without without uh, any conflicts, by articulating it so nicely what needs to be done. So I think there is a lot to learn, uh, not only for the kids but also for the parents. I am these days, like after Suprabha, my wife and I came back. We are trying to, you know, do a few small things at our home, how to organize things, label things, and obviously, my kid was anyway 4 years old. We were planning to consider schools. We stopped that, and we want to keep visiting the campus again and again. Luckily, I stay in Bomasandra, which is only 40 kilometers away from the campus. But everyone should go and give it a try. Be open. You may, even if you don't go with any expectations, I think on the door it says, uh, come without expectations and leave without judgments. Right? So I think I took that surprise away. I was really surprised, but I think I took that surprise away. But yeah, that will be it. You will be amazed. Okay, so be ready. Be ready. Uh, carry a diary and a pen, and please chronicle your thoughts. Uh, it helps. It helped me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to give a prescription. I should not be doing it. Everyone has
No, why
his
not?
or her own way of
You are sharing
doing it.
your prescription.
Yeah, yeah,
Till you're not imposing it,
yeah,
it's
yeah. So what
absolutely
worked for me?
beautiful to share.
Yeah, yeah. I was carrying my diary everywhere, and I was writing what uh, was coming to my mind, anything and everything. And I do refer to it whenever I had a lot of questions, like people ask how much time to give and all. And I think at night we were given some time to be able to, write what we did. And I used to see whether all those questions are getting answered or not, or whatever question was remaining, I was targeting them the next day. So almost all the questions are answered. And but now I'm more comfortable that even if those questions are there and not answered, I'm able to enjoy. So it is cool. Those perspectives will come. Enjoy that, and please visit it. I think I have marketed it well so far.
Thank you, Mohit. So yeah, and thank you everybody for joining.
Maybe later,
Uh,
maybe later I will connect with Aditi and Ratnesh for my commission. Because of
absolutely,
the marketing
absolutely.
that I did.
Yeah, the commission is yours. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, thank you everybody. As I said, we just had lovely discussion today, and we are there every Saturday. If you want to just have a discussion, just jump into something or bring up something or ask some questions. So we are there every Saturday at this slot. Plus, there are recordings of more than about 170 meetups, where lots of different people have also shared their journey, their different families, including there is, yeah, now all lot of different people. So yeah. And also the invitation to visit us. So all of these are there. As I'm just reinforcing, the community is not limited to a city. There are families from different cities, and we are all together. We connect using different technologies and different ways. And more importantly, we are together in terms of spirit. We share notes, we learn from each other, we listen to each other, we fight with each other. So that's the beauty. And whoever wants to be at part of the campus comes to the campus, whether you want to be part of the campus throughout the year or sometimes in the year or even never in the year. All permutation combinations are welcome. So that's how it is. Yeah, do join us any Saturday you feel like to join us if you want to come and stay with us. And if you want to also connect to a specific family, then tell us write to us which city you are in. We can connect you to families in different cities. Namrata is in Pune, Pranav is in Mumbai, Shikila is here in Hosur, plus she keeps traveling all over Tamil Nadu and many other places. Mohit is also in Bangalore. Dwiji is in Bangalore and UP. So these are just some families. There are many more families, so you can connect. Yeah. So, yep, we pause at 6:30 every time. So thank you. Thank you for joining with us. And see you some other time whenever you feel like connecting with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.